and agents have met the newly introduced No-ID-No-Momo system. Now, the new system, according to telecommunications giant MTN, was rolled out to end the fraud associated with mobile money transactions. But barely a week after its official introduction, some mobile money users and agents have been sharing the experiences on whether or not the system will be any positive to matters regarding the propagation of MTN Ghana's safety on online transactions. My colleague Nicholas Brown hit the streets of the capital to engage passers-by. Let's take a listen.
Okay. Now there wasn't any issues at all with the when they come. I only tell them that when you are doing withdrawal, me for instance, when you are coming to do withdrawal, I ask of the IDs first before I start with the transaction. So if you don't have, I'll just let you know. Now that with withdrawal, you have to use your ID.
Do you think it's helping to reduce the fraud cases?
In any way, yes. Anyway, no. With the yes, because if, for instance, someone sends money and you go to withdraw and the person goes to report, which has a process. When they are doing the tracing, they will know that yes, this person came and removed the money. But somehow to know, because all the cards, even with the ID, with the old one and the new one, you can still use the old one, you can still use the new one. Because I have noticed, even if you key in any number at all, you can do withdrawal. Just is at my risk, which I'm not ready to do.
Me, it's two things. It's good, and at the same time, it's bad. It's good to identify the withdrawer. It's good. I mean, just to put security, it's good. But it's bad in a way that, brother, in Ghana here we have as many as 10 ID cards per each person. And secondly, people are going to lose their IDs. So for the IDs there, Maza, it's going to cost a lot. A better wrong.
So far, some of the challenges that I'm facing now is that most of the elderly ones, they find it difficult working with their ID. When you ask them, they'll be like, if I bring it, I'll misplace it, and I don't know. So far, these are some of the challenges I'm facing. I think it will help, because at first, when this was not introduced, there was sometimes those or the fraudsters, they will call and they will be like, oh madam, send money through your account, can you help me get it? And the uneducated ones, they try getting them. So with that, I think it's good.
Initially, that was from the first day they started, the Good Friday. Some didn't remember that was the day they started. So when they come and we ask of the ID, they say, oh, they've left it. So they have to go and bring it. But I also suggested to them, if they can't bring it in person, they can take a picture onto their phones. Then when they come, they just show it to me. I think it will help. Maybe it might not help to a zero, but it will help. Because some of the scammers, actually, what normally happens is they are always scared of their showing up their identity. You understand? So they themselves, if they are able to, let's say, scam somebody on mobile money, and they have to withdraw the money, bringing their own personal ID is also a problem.
Let's stay on this a little while. Apia Kusi Edumako is Executive Director for CATS International. He joins us via Zoom on this development. Grateful that he joined us. What do you make of this new directive by MTN? If you could kindly unmute your microphone so we could hear you better. The question I was posing is, what do you make of this new reform by MTN which says no ID card, no mobile money transaction? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
All right. So what do you make of this particular directive by MTN? No ID, no Momo transaction.
I think it's one of the ways that MTN is doing to safeguard the usage of its platform. we've seen that for the past couple of years, we've heard of lots of fraudsters and people losing their money through fraudsters. So this is perhaps one of the best ways that MTN can do to protect consumers and also users of the platform. However, the deployment of the solution should not be worse than the problem. For me, I am more concerned about data protection and privacy right. As you go to the mobile money agent to cash out, the mobile money agent requires to have your ID card, and then after that, they will record your details in their FOSCA book. One first thing we need to ask ourselves is, how secure are the way they handle the material? Because someone can use your details to register for a mobile SIM, and also mobile money, and you might be around, and then police will start hunting for you for your involvement in some form of criminal activities. So I think that we need to deploy a more secure, a more better means of identification. And I would like to suggest that this, whilst commending MTN for their leadership in this role, I think it would be better if this thing is an industry-led rather than a player-led. And also, we also need to bring all stakeholders on board to look at the potential fault points that can arise out of implementing this No-ID-No-Momo withdrawal, saying that at the end of the day, when you go out to withdraw money and you give your card to an agent, you know that you will be protected and that there will be no breach of your data.
Well, but we do know that this has added a new layer, against mobile money fraud. But there again, there are questions regarding the third-party fraudsters who often use third parties to transact their businesses, which also begs the question of how feasible this could be in the medium to long term. But I want to find out from you, how could this impact the burden of interoperability in the future? Because we're seeing so many subscribers being turned away because they don't have ID cards to transact online, businesses via mobile money.
Yes, I think if you don't have an ID card, already Ghana card is almost available to over 40 million Ghanaians. And if you are the age of 18 years, you have your right to go to the card office and get your card. So for those who don't have their card, I don't think there's no need to sympathize with them. For me, what I am very much concerned about is the issue of fraudsters, how these mobile money agents can kind of collaborate with these fraudsters to have access to people's data and use your identity to commit fraud, and that is where the police can be coming for you. Already the police has warned us that anytime you go and make a photocopy of your ID card, make sure that the photocopy agent does not even say, oh, this one didn't come well, so I'll put it in the trash, because that ID card can be used to register mobile money or even open a bank account in your name. And then when there's any issue, you will be the one that your name will be, police will start, hunting you.
All right.
So I think that people need to have their the ID card, but I think what MTN is doing, we need to have a second look at it to ensure that there is data protection and also privacy of people's data.
Well, finally, before I let you go, let us have this whole assessment of Ghana's mobile money industry, because we do know that just from the side of MTN, huge cases of mobile money fraud. Does it not beg the question of a re-engineering of our systems to ensure safety moving forward?
Yes, re-engineering of the system is very, very good. But we all say that the solution that you are preferring should not be worse than the problem. And so here, we make one step forward and then we come back one step backward. That's a zero-sum game. And I think there is a better way for MTN and the industry and the regulator to lead this one, whereby when you go to a mobile money agent, for example, you present your ID card to the person. The agent enters only the first 4 digits of your card, and then you also, a prompt comes to you for you to also enter the last 4 digits before your password. And then once these 3 numbers are confirmed to be true, then you can have access to your money. I think in that way, we will not have the agents having to record people's data into their notebooks, which can be made available to fraudsters.
Kosi, we're so grateful that he joined us. He's Executive Director of CATS International, speaking to us on matters regarding the No-ID, No-Mobile Money order from MTN. Of course, you're still watching Marketplace with me, Charles Aita. We're taking a short break. We'll be right back to stay.